What's good, YouTube? Pokemon here, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a deep dive into all things Surging Sparks and why I think this is the best set in Scarlet and Violet pickup right now. This set, right now, I believe is criminally underrated, criminally overlooked, and that's due to all the new, shiny, exciting new product coming out. People are really forgetting how amazing this set actually is, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at all the cards, all the prices, to determine why this set is so bloody good. So grab a drink, grab a snack, get comfy, and let's get into it. Don't forget, guys, once the channel reaches 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away a 151 booster bundle absolutely free on this channel. It's super easy to enter. All you have to do is, of course, be subscribed and then drop a like and a comment on this video right here. Now, it has to be this video because I'll be choosing a random comment from this video to determine the winner. And after the winner's chosen, you'll be walking home with this. So what are you waiting for? Get involved. Okay, so I just wanted to start out here by looking at some of the cards from Surging Sparks. Now, the reason I kind of wanted to make this video is because I recently came back across the Surging Sparks cards and I was just blown away by actually how stunning they are. So I wanted to start by looking at the SIRs from the set. Every single one of these, maybe barring the Archaludon, I'm not a fan of that, is absolutely gorgeous. Like this Durant, you know, you can join the artworks up. It's very, very iconic, the fact that you can do that. Such a collector's item. The Milotic, it pairs with the Feebas from the IR section. Obviously, you've got the Pikachu. Now, the Pikachu is the biggest chase card of this set, of course. And for me, the artwork, I said it when the set was released, when the leaks and the announcements were made of the full set. It's not the most amazing artwork. Like there's a lot more cooler Pikachu artworks, but it is still an iconic card. It is still Pikachu, and it is still the hardest card to pull in the set. So it's always going to have that chase factor. People love Pikachu, whether you like it or not. People love Pikachu. It is the mascot of Pokemon, so there's always going to be a premium on it. Now, you could kind of look back and say, okay, well, Vivid Voltage had the Pikachu, and that set kind of collapsed. Yes, it's easy to look back on the history and say, you know what, this could happen again, but I think that that's not going to happen again. I think Surging Sparks is super strong in and of itself. I think, you know, the Vivid Voltage sort of situation, it can happen, but I think the sets are too strong now to kind of see that that will happen. I think when you look at a set like Surging Sparks, you kind of think, okay, well, the rest of this set carries itself on its own without the main set of the Pikachu. So that's kind of my thoughts and feelings on that whole topic. If we look at the Latias here, you know, that pairs with the Latios. The Hydreigon is gorgeous. Again, I said the Archaludon, it kind of just looks like a full art with some random rocks behind it, so not a big fan of that. But even the Exeggutor, the Alolan Exeggutor is stunning as well. I love this artwork. The rainbow borders fit so well with the colors of the actual card. It's just iconic. The whole set is absolutely 10 out of 10. And I think people are forgetting just how amazing this set is. Obviously, this set kind of came out just as the boom was starting to take place, because you could still get this set. I got this set, a case of this set from Chaos Cards for like $5.60, which is like £95 a box, which in today's times just seems like an absolute steal, and it is a steal, because you know, new sets are like £150 a box right now to £200 a box if you look at Journey Together, which is insane because Journey Together is nowhere near as good as this set. But yeah, the set is just amazing. So starting off the special illustration rares, every single one of them, bar Archaludon, is absolutely gorgeous, and I wouldn't mind putting any of these. The special illustration rare supported, you've got Jasmine, who's people are a huge fan of. Alicia's Appeal, who people are a huge fan of. The Altaria in the background. Even these aren't bad. And you've got also stunning gold cards. You've got Pikachu EX, Alolan Exeggutor EX. These items are cool. Like everything, it's got everything going for it. Let's skip past these. All of these full arts, the Milotic, the Black Kyurem, the Latias, the Pikachu, they're all awesome. There's really not much bad to say about this set. And like I was saying at the start of this video, I just think that people are overlooking this set so much because of all the new stuff coming out. But really, when we break it down and when we look at it set by set, this is by far, the strongest core set of Scarlet and Violet. Now, I have to say core set because, of course, we've got Prismatic Evolutions, which I've already spoken about is single-handedly the best investment you can make right now. But if you look at core sets, then Surging Sparks, booster boxes are going to be the single best investment, I think, for the future. Having got some of these IRs here, the Fampi's gorgeous, there's Mesprit, the Sleep In Slack Off, the Braviary, the Skarmory, the Latios, of course, the Ceruledge, of course, the Execute, the Feebas that joins on. We've got two iconic Pokemon, Milotic and Latias, as SIRs that join with iconic Pokemon in Feebas and Latios as IRs. It's just absolutely amazing. And I really think that people are sleeping on this set right now. And for me personally, I actually want to pick up so much more Surging Sparks. I'm really, really bullish again on Surging Sparks. Like many other people, I saw the new shiny stuff. I saw the Prismatic Evolutions. And of course, Prismatic Evolutions is, for me, the best pickup. But if I'm going to be putting money anywhere else right now, it probably will be Surging Sparks, even at the prices that they are at now. It's not a bad pickup. We do have reprints coming. I think reprints have already hit in the UK here. But what I'm hearing through the grapevine is that it's like 3 boxes per store. It's nothing, and a lot of them are keeping them for themselves. So the reprint hasn't really touched the sides. The market will absorb, and we could potentially see the prices of Surging Sparks go even further beyond what they are now. So it might be a good time to pick it up. Now, I wanted to kind of do a comparison, a side-by-side of Surging Sparks as the set value and look at the sort of top cards within the set and compare them to other sets. The first thing I want to compare it to, well, let's have a look at the actual set price of Surging Sparks. So we can see here, I'm not sure how accurate this website is, but it will kind of take it as like a ratios in terms of comparison and price. So Surging Sparks, £1,251 total set value. And if we look, the first sort of, 14 cards in the set in terms of the top hits are all kind of around that £20 mark. I mean, Night Stretcher and Ceruledge just kind of under, but if you're going to be anal about it, 12 cards of the top hits are £20 or above. And if we look at other sets that you can compare to Surging Sparks, let's have a look at Paldea Evolved. Now, Paldea Evolved has a lower set value of 968 by almost £300. And the top 10 cards are £20 or above. So there's a couple more expensive cards in Surging Sparks. The overall kind of price of Paldea Evolved is carried by the Magikarp. The rest of the cards aren't super expensive. So now, if we actually come and take a look at Surging Sparks on eBay, we're seeing boxes around 200, 180, between 180 to 200, right? And they're slowly increasing, actually, even though there are reprints coming, they are slowly increasing. £200, £200, £200. And let's remember, back to what we looked at before, the set value of Surging Sparks is £1,251, and the set value of Paldea Evolved is 968. Now, if we come and look at Paldea Evolved is a similar price, 199, 219, around the 190 to 200 mark. So the Paldea Evolved booster boxes are just as expensive as the Surging Sparks booster boxes, but the total set value is lower. And now what does that mean? For me, that means that Surging Sparks has a lot more room to grow based on the set value, based on what we can see in the future. We also have to remember that Paldea Evolved is the second set to be released for Scarlet and Violet, so it's a lot older. It has had a few reprints and it has recovered. That's based on the Magikarp, but we haven't seen the full growth of Surging Sparks yet. And I think Surging Sparks only has room to grow further beyond Paldea Evolved and become the most expensive set in Scarlet and Violet right now. Of course, we have Destined Rivals coming out, and we still have Scarlet and Violet 11 and 12 to go. But the way the set looks right now, for me, it really, really, really is top of the food chain right now. We have to see what comes out in the next year and see how Scarlet and Violet finishes off. But based on the data and the statistics, Surging Sparks is looking like the best set to be picking up, and it is still technically, by comparison, undervalued. Now, I wanted to compare it to some Sword and Shield sets. So, of course, Evolving Skies, we'll forget about Evolving Skies. It's an anomaly. But if we actually compare Surging Sparks as a £1,251 total set value to Fusion Strike has the exact same set value as Surging Sparks, but the £20 cards finishes after the 7th card, whereas Surging Sparks has 12 cards over £20. So the total set value and the total chases of the higher value cards are a lot higher in Surging Sparks. And Fusion Strike has had its massive run up. It's being carried by a singular Gengar and I guess the Espeon VMAX. But the rest of the set isn't as strong as Surging Sparks. And it's a £300 to £400 box coming up to, oh, that's Lost Origin, whoops. It's a £300 box at the moment. Now, of course, supply is a lot lower for Fusion Strike, and it sat on shelves for a long time. It didn't have that crazy run up until the end of last year. But just looking at the set, I mean, Surging Sparks is better than Fusion Strike. I'm going to say it, hot take if you want. Surging Sparks is better than Fusion Strike. Surging Sparks is better than Lost Origin. Lost Origin has an even lower set value than both of them, and it's still going for £300 on eBay. Again, I mean, the Giratina is obviously carrying the set. We talk about what makes a great set. It's got to have low pull rates and maybe a singular amazing chase card, which Lost Origin and Fusion Strike both do. But you have terrible pull rates on Surging Sparks. We've seen that. Better chase cards, in my opinion. The Latias, the Milotic, I mean, maybe not better chase cards. I do think the Gengar and the Giratina are better than every card in this set, but there are more options of chase cards. I wouldn't mind pulling the Hydreigon, the Milotic, the Latias, the Pikachu, the Exeggutor. I wouldn't mind pulling any of those cards. Honestly, I would be happy with that. Whereas for Fusion Strike and Lost Origin, you could argue that, okay, the Aerodactyl, yeah, it's not bad. It's not the best. The Giratina, obviously, that eclipses everything. Same for Fusion Strike. I want the Espeon, I want the Gengar, maybe the Mew, maybe the Celebi, but they don't have a wider pool of amazing cards as compared to Surging Sparks. It's the same with Paldea Evolved. The Raichu and the Tyranitar, yeah, I wouldn't mind pulling them. The Magikarp are one I want the most. But for Surging Sparks, I'm happy with this, I'm happy with this, I'm happy with this, I'm happy with this, I'm happy with a lot of the cards there. So not only does it have a match set value of all these sets or more, it has more chase cards, cooler chase cards, and it just has everything going for it. Now, another thing that I want to mention about Surging Sparks is the ETBs have the Magneton. They have this amazing Shinji Kanda Magneton that is a Gen 1 Pokemon, is done by one of the most iconic artists of the modern day generation of Pokemon. And these ETBs are still going to be being listed. I mean, there's more to come on the Pokemon Center, more to be dropped. There are more regular ETBs to be dropped if you wanted the regular version. And we are seeing, obviously, a massive decrease in price right now for the singles. It's across the board. But this Pokemon Center Magneton promo, I have every faith it will recover extremely, extremely well. And again, it just gives that Surging Sparks that bigger push to be one of those iconic sets that we look back on and we're like, wow, this set was actually fucking sick. And it's sitting right in front of you. So, yeah, obviously, Surging Sparks is quite expensive in comparison to other sets within the Scarlet and Violet era. But I actually think it's earned its price. Given the market conditions, it's earned its price to be the 180, 190, 200. And back when Surging Sparks was climbing and it was hitting 150, I said, I don't think Surging Sparks is a good pickup right now. And I think I was wrong. I think it might be worth picking it up right now. Based on the current market conditions, I think if a crash were to happen, we'd obviously see a massive down spike in Surging Sparks. But yeah, I think it is a great set and I think it should be picked up. And I think I just think it's an amazing set and I think it's worth picking up. Really, I don't know what I'm chatting about. It's just amazing. Yeah, it is really good. So let's just have a look at some of the singles right now. Of course, we have the Pikachu EX from, I'm going to look at the best pulls from each of the sets I've just talked about. So we've got the Pikachu EX here. Obviously, we saw that massive spike up in price when it first came out, which was kind of a bit unnatural. It all kind of happened with the boom. People were buying this card out so much. We saw it like £10,000, I think, was a PSA 10 on release, which obviously is just too much. And we're starting to see a bit of a correction here. Now, I can't look at the data here and tell you what's going to happen. There's not enough data. It's only been out since November. So we'll have to wait and see. But I do think this card will recover really, really well. I think this is, okay, again, it's just a correction right now. We're seeing it at that £250 rate, which I talked about in my last video, which I think is fair for the card based on the current market conditions, based on how the other chase cards for Scarlet and Violet are looking. Look, if you think about the Zard, think about the Greninja, you think about the Bubble Mew, they all kind of fall within that 200 to 250 category. I do think in the future it can reach those Gengar VMAX, those Giratina Origin form VMAX, V alternate art levels of prices for this Pikachu. I really, really do. I think it's got a lot of legs. It's got a lot of thunder to go and climb. And I just have no doubt in my mind. I'm so confident in the fact that this set will do so well in the future. And again, if you're part of this channel, if you've been here for a while, you know that this channel is all about the long-term mindset. I'm not worried about if this Pikachu goes to 100, 200, 300 pounds, or if it goes to 500 pounds in the short term. I'm holding on to the set long-term, and yeah, that's just the goal. So let's have a look at the Magikarp here. Again, we saw a massive rise in this Magikarp towards the end of last year and the start of this year. It's starting to fall off alongside all the other cards in the set. But this is actually a pretty good pickup right now, I won't lie. 130 pounds right now, falling off a little bit. And the PSA 10 version of this card is, £1,000, £1,300, 13 watches. It does amazingly well. It's super hard to grade. That's why it's got such a premium on the PSA 10. But this isn't a Magikarp video, it's a Surging Sparks video. And I wanted to compare side by side the biggest chases of the sets that I've compared Surging Sparks to, because I think they're kind of similar in a way. But yeah, again, with Paldea Evolved, all you have is the Magikarp. With Surging Sparks, you've got so many other hits that you can possibly get. And that's what I think makes it a great set. Let's have a look at the Gengar. So obviously we had that massive increase in price again towards the end of last year as these sort of alt art from Sword and Shield kind of went on a massive boom. Even the single product went on a massive boom. The sealed product went on a massive boom, sorry. But we did start to see a bit of a correction again. But these cards, yes, they are better than the Pikachu, I think, but there is chances for the Pikachu to, catch up to these cards in the future, because a lot of people see these Sword and Shield artworks as like relics now. They're out of print. And when that kind of thing happens for Scarlet and Violet, when we see the SIRs become a thing of the past, we're going to see the same kind of thing happen. It might not be as hard and as crazy as it was for these because they came in right at the start of the boom. But if there was to be another boom, maybe in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, the same thing could happen for the Pikachu. Let's not forget that, right? So Lost Origin is coming up to 3 years old. Fusion Strike's coming up to 4 years old. Paldea Evolved coming up to 2 years old. And Surging Sparks is fresh. And it's already seeing the heights that you'd expect it to be at a 4 or 5 year mark. So yeah, it just a lot of things going for it, like I've been saying. So finally, let's look at the Giratina again. We saw the same thing with the Gengar, that huge boom towards the end of last year for the alt arts in Sword and Shield. This one has seen a pretty good rise. I mean, the last month it's up 3%. So it's actually doing pretty well. I mean, this card is iconic. Giratina is iconic. Same as Gengar, to be fair. Let's have a look at the 1 month. It's down, 10% in the last month. Greninja's holding out, though. I mean, sorry, Giratina's holding out. But you can make the side-by-side comparisons between the Surging Spark sets and these Sword and Shield sets. And for me, it's quite clear that Surging Sparks is a better set than all of these sets, and it hasn't had its full time in the sun. And when it does, you'll wish you picked up a few more cases or boxes. And that's my plea to you today. Well, not my plea, but my pseudo advice is I really think that Surging Sparks, even at this £200 range, if you have a long-term mindset, even at £200, 180, 190, it's a great pickup because it will definitely do the numbers in the future. And I'm very, very, very bullish on Surging Sparks. I wasn't until recently. I just forgot how incredible this set was. I looked at the set the other day and I was like, hold on a sec. This set is fucking fire. Like, I need to get more of this. So that's what I'm going to do. Especially with all the craziness about Destined Rivals and all the craziness of even around Journey Together. Like, if people don't pick up Surging Sparks as much as you'd expect them to do in this market, then it's there for the taking, and there'll be product available, and you can probably get more volume of Surging Sparks than you could of Destined Rivals or Journey Together. So that's another thing that I think is really important to note, is the volume of Surging Sparks you could potentially get in this current market is probably higher, which is obviously a lot better. And it's the best set right now. It is single-handedly the best Scarlet and Violet set, without a shadow of a doubt. Without putting Prismatic Evolution to the side, it's Surging Sparks for me. And I would encourage you to consider Surging Sparks. Not financial advice, just my personal opinion. But yeah, so that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. Please drop a like and a comment. Let me know what you think about my opinion. If you think Surging Sparks is a home run, or if you think there's better sets you can pick up, I'd love to know and discuss with you guys. But yeah, that's all for me for now. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.